What's going on, traders? Hope everybody had a great Thursday. The melt up continues on the markets. Incredible moves the past couple of days, not only in the S&P and QQQ, but also in some of those small cap growth names like Coin, Rivian, and so on. But our focus, of course, here is the S&P, the Spider ETF, and we're starting off with the macro. A couple of interesting things I want to go over today with you. And before we get into it, reminder that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All right, so we're looking at the daily chart here. Markets were up again about 0.79%, about $3.55. Final print coming in at 449.56, and happy to say that today finally we hit our target that we were looking for. 450.38 was the high of the day, so we did get that 450. Congratulations, bulls, and I'm glad to see that our thesis did play out. But now, as all of FinTwit is getting super bullish, starting to think the other direction. And when I talk about retracements and stuff like this, again, I'm definitely not like some of these people on here that are always calling for a huge crash and new lows. I mean, those people are probably insolvent at this point. But the retracements are healthy and a natural part of price action and needed to be able to move up higher overall in the market. So we'll be going over a couple of macro things right now on my charts that's indicating to me that it might be time tomorrow for me to start swinging some puts. I've done this, talked about this a few times in the market. And I did miss one of them, but we are so far 2 for 2 on these short plays. We hit this one here, and we hit this one, and this is the one that I missed. But I was looking at it, but I wasn't able to react. But now, can we make it 3 for 3? Let's find out. Timing's going to be tricky tomorrow as far as this trade is concerned, but I'll probably be waiting closer to the end of the day. I think that there is a chance that we do rally up higher tomorrow. We've had basically 3 trend days in a row, or 2 trend days, so I don't know if we're gonna get another one tomorrow. The morning definitely showed us some more of that choppy consolidation price action, which we'll get into in a little bit, but then we were able to break out of the range and push up to this final target there at the end of the day for a very nice move. So we're looking here at the daily, and we are coming into the top part of this supply zone here, and the top of this yearly volume profile right here. We are still, of course, extended from value, but now that we're coming into the top of this profile, it's starting to look very interesting to me on that short side. Momo isn't quite there yet, so that's why also I'm wondering if we do get of course nothing lines up 100% perfect, but that's why I'm also wondering if we do have a little bit more of that rally tomorrow. It's really hard to say whether we rally all day and then at the end of the day we start to see a little bit of that weakness, or if we don't see any of that weakness and we have to wait until Monday and Tuesday to start seeing it into next week for a possible maybe a move back down into this 444 area here to retest this last major bull pivot. That would be normal healthy, and I would surmise that tomorrow that this 9-period moving average on the daily will probably end up moving upwards and giving us nice confluence. So we'll see where we get to tomorrow. I've got a couple of guesses. Of course, we're not here to totally predict anything, but we'll see. And coming back at the very least to refill this gap and retest this major 444 pivot, I think would be normal and healthy price action. And at that case, it might be time that we look at potentially going long again here at this next pivot, and then for the next move up higher. But retracement down would be nice, just as far as cooling off the markets a little bit. So this was the first chart, I wanted to look at. The other reason I'm starting to look at these shorts, and we've been looking at this on the weekly for some time now, but the daily doesn't have the extreme reading on my Momo, but the weekly does, and we have been watching this. We are pretty spicy in here, and when we do get up in this zone, especially on a weekly, we have seen way bigger moves in the market, of course, longer time frame. So I'll be watching it. You can see here when it pinged up in this level right here, called this top, and what was this? 52 all the way down, about a $20 drop or so, all the way down to 40.30. Excuse me, I'm still sick. 40.30. So that is a very nice move. I don't know if we'll get the same type of move, but from 50 back down to that 44. That's I think maybe we have the chance of getting up a bit higher. So even from say 53 to 44, that's still about $14, $15 move to the downside. So we'll have to see about that. However, you can see where we are on the markets right here. Multiple reactions in this supply zone. The other thing that I want to point out is that we finally are coming into this 3-year, this 3-year weekly value area high. And yet we can, obviously, as we've seen in the daily chart, we can get outside of this balance, but being on the weekly, it is a bit of a stronger area, and that is another reason why I am starting to look at the short trade now. But again, I'm not necessarily looking for all the way down to 440. Could we get there? Yeah, maybe. But even if we get a little bit higher and get in, if I get in at the end of the day at say 53 something, and then come back down to 44, I'll take that trade any day. As far as the move is concerned, the 444 is interesting as well, because it would be a 50% retracement of this candle here, this weekly candle, and may set us up for a mid candle breakout up higher into this next major area of liquidity, up by 446. Sorry, these cold meds are making me go crazy. Plus that I'm always talking in futures, so I'm like 45.73 or 45.52. So this 460. Anyway, so let's see what happens. Calling my shot here, and the last reason I want to point out, and you know how big I am on the macro stuff. You're probably not going to see this chart. I was going to post it, but you're not going to see this chart. Oh, not this one. You're not going to see this chart many other places, because I don't think anyone does this look. So I was going to post it, but I'm saving it for you guys, my faithful YouTube watchers, and I'm not going to post it. So you guys are getting a little treat here, as I'm not really going to be sharing this one with everybody. But let's look back 5 years. Go to a weekly. Look, what do we have here? This back from October, the COVID highs, multiple reactions. Here, Boom, 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 boom. Right? Nobody's looking at this. All of Twitter is bullish out the yin yang. Okay, I just have multiple points of confluence for this trade personally. So, like I said, always preaching the macro. I have to go 5 years back. I find this area here on the chart. Now, what we could also see is 2 years ago in July, we break above. This is what I actually think is going to happen. Again, I mean, this is just total speculation. See how we break the trend line and then we come down and then we finally break? I think we could have a possibility of seeing a very similar situation, excuse me, like this tomorrow, where we do a fake break. Now, if it's possible, it's impossible to time. And do I know that this is going to happen? No, I have no idea. A safer trade, if you don't get in, if I don't get in tomorrow, or whatever, again, you know, it's just, this is all my speculation here, but is waiting for this break. Not getting in up here, but waiting for this break here, retest, and then get that short. That's another way that someone could play it. So, food for thought there, but coming into this area is very interesting to me, with all these different factors lining up, right? So, let's see what happens. Let's go into some now, so some intraday stuff. The only actually other thing, speaking of macro, that I'm going to go over here is this. Okay. All right. Now, what I got to see about the confluence, again, the timing, this is, you know, is really a fool's game, and, you know, I could be that trying to pick a top again, but I wait for very specific moments to do these things, so we'll see what happens. So far, 2 for 2. Let's see if we get this one. So if we do rally up higher tomorrow, I'm going to also be looking to see about this trend line here. If we do get some continuation, which I think we might, coming into potentially up here in the 452 area, 453 zone, depending on when we get there. That's going to be interesting for me to watch and see if you know how price reacts in that level. So here's another zone that I'm watching. You can see the reaction here, here, and if we go back further, here, here. Okay, fake breaks here, so we can have this potential situation as well where we break over and then back down here. Okay, so major trend line there. We'll be watching that as well as we move into tomorrow. There is that chance we do get that final blow off tomorrow. So I don't know exactly when the best time for me to enter is, but we'll see. It's hard not to be bullish, right? Overall, I mean, technically this new swing high here, and as long as 447 holds, what is this high? 447.50, right? Really, there's not much of a bear case. So if we're looking for something with a little bit more confirmation, that could give it to you. Breaking back under this this pivot, that's a little bit safer. So that's also something that you may want to consider if trying to nail the top does not interest you. Of course, everyone wants to be a hero and nail the top, whatever. It's all ego bullshit anyway, and it doesn't really mean anything. So let's get a little bit more into, sorry, I had to straighten these out, they were driving me crazy. Let's get a little bit more into the daily price action and plan for tomorrow, besides my short idea, because I do think there's a chance we do continue this rally into tomorrow, and we're already kind of doing it here as we've just been really riding the 9 this whole time. It's getting a little bit ridiculous here, but we'll see. Ideally, hopefully, I'd love a little pullback into this area here around 448.67, and then get that move up higher and break these highs, but we'll see. Right now it looks like this hourly is setting up in an inverted head and shoulders, as a matter of fact. Let me just take a little peek at futures real quick. And I don't want to keep you guys too long. Where are we at? Okay, whatever. It's not alright, but it's very interesting here, a little inverted head and shoulders. Anyway, so we're talking about really nothing too bearish. The first thing, well, all right, let's talk about the longs first, right? As long as we hold this range that we broke today in the morning, this is what we were talking about as far as that pricey, choppy price action, right? And we were getting it a bit here in the morning. Of course, these are hourly candles. You can see how aggressively on these wicks the buyers did come in. But you can see the range here. We had about a 2-hour range break, finally broke over, came back, retested the 9 here, higher low, and then we finally made that big push up higher. I was really hoping that they would come and chill down here during glowbacks and not try to break out higher now, because it just doesn't give us enough edge for tomorrow. But as I was mentioning, it's this breaking under the 448.50, right, this range, and with that confluence of the 20, that's going to be a warning sign. Will I take this short? Nah, probably not personally, but it could be a trade coming down into here, maybe, you know, at that 447 puts, coming down to here and then flip long right at this range here. That could be a trade idea. If we do start to lose 447.50, that would be even more bearish, and then we would be targeting the 446 area, 25, that zone, and then if that breaks, we're looking to the lower quadrants of this range. The first one, of course, being, or the last one being at that 445 area, but the other quadrant of this brief balance zone, probably in the 25% is kind of up in here at this 445.50 area, right? So, and then the 25% quadrant would probably be up here in the 447 area. So, you know, breaking under 447.50 and then breaking under 447, we'll be looking down towards here. And I went the wrong way. I said we would talk about the longs first. Sorry. This damn sickness. All right. So there's no real trade for me here. We'll have to see where we open. If we open firmly above 450, yeah, we'll be looking for long. Ideally, you know, for the breakout trade, I'd have to see price move back over this swing high, come back and retest, and ultimately my target for tomorrow probably would be this 452.30 area. And if we're able to get over that, probably be aiming for 454 in this zone up here, and then lastly 455.30. That's really what I'd be looking for. That would be quite a strong move. Maybe we only get to here. I have no idea, but these are some other key resistances that we could come up into, and the last one I have is up at 456.55. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough and blow out the gain on the mic. So we'll see. I like the breakout trade if we come out and retest here. Other than that, I like the trade long here as long as this holds at 448 for long. Breaking under that's a warning sign. Breaking under this is even more of a warning sign for those puts down to here. And so on, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty straightforward plan. Hopefully we don't, I would rather us stay in this area because that gives us a better risk to reward to take out these highs. If we're opening up over here, that would just kind of be annoying for me, but let's see what happens. And I think I went over everything I need to. So we have our levels, we have our plan, we know when we're going to go short. Like I said, I might be tagging the shorts up here. Maybe I'll take a starter in the 453 area and then swing. Maybe monthly August puts. Maybe the I mean, the 440s could potentially work, but I might just look for the 444s to retest that bigger pivot as we were talking about earlier. So that's pretty much what I'll be looking at. All right, have a good one. Take care. It's Friday, so don't be a hero. Let's see if we get a Friday trend day. It's kind of hard to say if we will. We haven't really, I mean, I don't know, we've been trending all week, so do we get one more blow off tomorrow, or do we just consolidate and mutter around? I don't know. Today I played it a little bit lighter personally, where I could have probably had a little bit more confidence in the bulls, but I wanted to be careful because we had seen this rally. So again, tomorrow I'll probably more or less be a little bit more cautious. Even if we get a trend day, it's fine. I mean, you know, with small size, you can still get a really nice trade. You know, some nice profits just riding it all day, even with smaller size. So no reason to be a hero and try to, you know, make $1,000 tomorrow or whatever, make a whole bunch of money, because it's you know, there's nothing worse than giving back your weekly gains, right? So, all right, follow your plan, be prepared. Sorry for the late video. Take care. Oh yeah, and nope, that's it. All right, goodbye.